2024 now scarily speeding on by, it's shaping up to be a massive year for certain big-name horror franchises, as some of the heaviest hitters in the game gear up to return to cinemas and TV screens. Some of these franchises are looking to continue their own hot momentum, while others may have been dormant for years or even decades, but now finally have fresh output on the horizon. With that in mind, I'm Andrew from What Culture Horror, and here are 10 horror franchises set for a huge 2024. Number 10. The Walking Dead. The wider Walking Dead property has plenty new horrors on the way. First and foremost, the story of Rick Grimes and Michonne will be picked up within The Walking Dead: The Ones Who Live. Premiering on the 25th of February, this will follow on from the end of the main Walking Dead series as Michonne looks to finally find her once believed dead partner. Pollyanna McIntosh will be back as Jadis, and she'll be joined by lost favourite and the stepfather, Terry O'Quinn, who'll be playing Major General Beale, a villain teased throughout The Walking Dead world beyond. Elsewhere, 2024 finds the Maggie and Negan-focused Walking Dead: Dead City with a second season in production. The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon's been renewed for a second season known as The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon: The Book of Carol, and Tales of the Walking Dead is to be followed by more tales from the Walking Dead universe. Number 9. X. Should writer-director Ty West stick the landing with Maxine, he'll have one of the great movie trilogies on his hands. West's X trilogy has so far delivered two exceptional, vastly different movies with X and Pearl, with Mia Goth at the center of this franchise, playing porn star Maxine and elderly killer Pearl in X, then playing the younger Pearl in, well, Pearl. The third leg of this trilogy will pick things up with Goth's Maxine 5 years after she was the sole survivor of X. Said to be a whodunit style homage to the legendary Dario Argento, Maxine finds the title character acting in a slasher movie at the very same time the murderous Night Stalker is tormenting Hollywood. Joining Mia Goth is quite the impressive collection of names, including Giancarlo Esposito, Elizabeth Debicki, Lily Collins, and Kevin Bacon. Maxine is yet to be given an official release date, but the film is planned to release before the end of 2024, with test screenings having already taken place at the turn of the year. Number 8. The Addams Family. With the live-action side of the property having remained dormant since 1999, the Addams name was brought back to live-action life in magnificent fashion with Netflix's Wednesday back in 2022. Starring Jenna Ortega as Wednesday Addams, the show's 8 episodes impressed, bringing a renewed interest in the Addams family, so much so, Netflix was quick to renew the series for a second season. Ortega stated to Variety how this new season will lean into the horror aspect of the show a little more, although plans to premiere season 2 in 2023 were hit by the SAG-AFTRA strike. With the belief that production will restart this April, the hope is that Wednesday will return to screens by the end of the year. And elsewhere, Netflix is expanding the Addams Family property with Wednesday spin-off Fester, centering on Fred Armisen's Uncle Fester, who made quite the impression in his one appearance in Wednesday. Hopefully, Wednesday's second season and Fester's premiere arrive before 2024 is out, but if not, they should give plenty to look forward to in early 2025. Number 7. The Strangers. By the time all is said and done with this year, we may actually have had 3 new Strangers movies. With all 3 pictures filmed at the same time, a Strangers trilogy is on the way from Deep Blue Sea and Elm Street 4 director Renny Harlin. Titled The Strangers Chapter 1, the first of these films is currently booked in for a May release, but there's rumblings that all 3 legs of this trilogy will be released across 2024. Existing within the same continuity of the prior 2 movies, The Strangers Chapter 1 will find a couple stay at a remote Airbnb disrupted by the nefarious trio of Man in the Mask, Pin-Up Girl, and Dollface. Riverdale's Madeleine Petsch and T-Mole's Froy Gutierrez are playing this unfortunate couple, with a trilogy set to explore the impact a run-in with the mask killers has on someone, whilst also daring to explore the backstory of those villains. That sometimes does not work out well though, of course. Number 6. Alien. No horror property has as big a 2024 lined up as the Alien franchise. Looking to veer away from Prometheus and Alien Covenant, the Alien IP is set to serve up a new movie and a new TV series. From the 2013 Evil Dead reboot's Fede Alvarez, that movie is Alien Romulus. And while plot details are being kept under wraps right now, the film will take place between Ridley Scott's Alien and James Cameron's Aliens. The Craft Legacy's Kaylee Spaney heads up the cast, with Romulus currently set for an August release. As for that TV series, it's being developed by Fargo's Noah Hawley and is simply titled Alien. Taking place 3 decades before the original 1979 movie, Alien's cast includes Don't Worry Darling Sidney Chandler, the ever-great Timothy Olyphant, and the fantastic Adrian Edmondson. Hello there, Bottom fans. Number 5. Universal Monsters. One of the finest horror movies of the past few years is Leigh Whannell's stunning The Invisible Man, providing a fresh spin on H.G. Wells' classic tale and bringing themes of domestic abuse to the fore in truly terrifying fashion. Of course, the wider Universal monsters have been a beloved part of horror dating back to the 1930s, and thankfully, these iconic characters will be back in the spotlight in 2024 and beyond. Most notably with Whannell's The Wolfman, which is set for an October release and stars Possessor's Christopher Abbott and Ozark's Julia Garner. Not just that, but Whannell is also working on an Invisible Man sequel, and Cocaine Bear's Elizabeth Banks was at one point to direct and star in an Invisible Woman spin-off, although all has been a little quiet on that front for the past couple of years. Either way, if Leigh Whannell can deliver a Wolfman movie on a par with his Invisible Man, that should spark even more interest in the Universal monsters. Also, for those who lump Count Orlok in with the Universal monsters, Robert Eggers' hotly anticipated Nosferatu, starring Bill Skarsgård, Nicholas Hoult, Lily Rose Depp, and Willem Dafoe, is booked in for a Christmas Day 2024 release. Number 4. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Even if a new Last Summer movie doesn't arrive in 2024, this is the biggest year for the property in forever, as a legacy sequel is in the works. What's a legacy sequel? Well, think of 2022's Scream, as in a film that exists within the established canon, brings back familiar faces, and introduces new characters who can drive the franchise forward. While their returns aren't official as of now, Jennifer Love Hewitt has said she'd absolutely return as Julie James, whilst Freddie Prinze Jr. is open to returning as Ray Bronson. Presumably ignoring the awful I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer, this new Last Summer film has Sweet Vicious's Jennifer Caitlin Robinson directing from a screenplay by Scramble's Leah McKendrick. Already, McKendrick has promised a less is more approach for a picture which will feature a whodunit mystery, as in, is Ben Willis back and causing carnage, or is it someone else donning the fisherman getup? Number 3. Friday the 13th. With the legal battle between original Friday the 13th director Sean S. Cunningham and writer Victor Miller now behind us, thankfully, fans have the prospect of fresh Friday the 13th content for the first time since Marcus Nispel's 2009 reboot. Of course, in that time we've had a couple of fun fan films and IllFonic and Gun Media's excellent Friday the 13th video game, but we now finally have new projects in the works for both the big and small screen. Aiming to premiere before the end of 2024, A24 and Hannibal's Brian Fuller are developing a Friday the 13th TV series titled Crystal Lake. Promising to feature many familiar manifestations of Jason, this show already has Adrienne King, the actress behind Alice Hardy, the original film's survivor, who was killed in the opening of Friday the 13th Part 2, cast in an unspecified role, while Victor Miller is on board as an executive producer. In terms of the silver screen, Sean S. Cunningham is currently exploring options to craft a new Friday the 13th film, which would serve as a direct sequel to his 1980 original. Number 2. Child's Play. Even the biggest Child's Play fans would agree that the initial 5 movies are somewhat of a mixed bag, but Don Mancini nicely reignited the franchise with 2013's Curse of Chucky and 2017's Cult of Chucky. Going one better though, Mancini has mesmerized with Sci-Fi's absolutely majestic Chucky TV series, taking the momentum of Curse and Cult, expanding upon existing lore, and bringing some great new characters into the mix. 2024 is a big year for the Child's Play property, as Chucky will be returning in May for the second half of its 3rd season. And if those episodes can match the quality of the first half of the season, we should be in for an absolute treat. With both Chucky and Tiffany having made their way to the Dead by Daylight video game at the end of last year, the Child's Play franchise is riding a whole new wave of popularity. Added to that, Don Mancini has said he's open to doing a crossover with Chucky and Megan, and has also discussed doing something with Child's Play and one of the various horror properties under the Universal banner. Number 1. Scream. While the rest of the franchises here are included for how their 2024 is going to be big for what projects are on the way, the Scream franchise is here for a sadly different reason. For Scream, 2024 is massive for the very future of this beloved property. Of course, plans for Scream 7, a film that once targeted a 2024 release, are up in the air right now, with the picture having lost 2 of its leads and its director. Those leads are Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega, as in Sam and Tara Carpenter in the prior 2 movies, with Spyglass firing Barrera in November, Ortega promptly exiting the project shortly after, and director Christopher Landon quitting before 2023 was over. As such, Scream is in a mess. Its 2 modern leads are off the table, Scream 7 has no director and is undergoing script changes, Spyglass continued to lowball Neve Campbell with offers to return, beloved Dewey Riley was killed off in 2022 Scream, and the franchise is left with Courtney Cox's Gale Weathers and a selection of survivors who've often been positioned as supporting players. So, 2024 is a pivotal year year for Scream, as Spyglass desperately look to pull the nose up on what is currently looking like a total disaster. A disaster that has the potential to tank the entire franchise.